What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Elliott Delp, and this is Sparky, back like he never left. And today we're going to be talking about...
Boo.
Oh, yeah, boo. Today we're going to be talking about the PSA Sabre. It is officially spooky season, so make sure you check out basementoperator.com to pick up your spooky season merchandise. That's our first disclaimer. Our second disclaimer is PSA did not send this out. They had nothing to do with the purchase of this Sabre. We do usually work with PSA, but I bought this on my own dime because I was eager to get it and eager beaver and wanted to test it out. Velocity Ammo. So big shout out to Velocity Ammo. They are the sponsor of the channel and we really appreciate them a lot. They help. This one doesn't have any ammo in it.
We need to call Velocity to get this one filled.
Yeah, they keep the freedom seeds flowing here over on the channel. So if you go to the website, basementoperator.com, and then click on our links page, you can head on over to Velocity's link. Now let's talk about the Sabre. There's a lot of opinions, you know, on the internet. This thing has really shook the market because PSA has started to introduce more higher end stuff. Mid to high end stuff. I would almost say that they're priced mid, offering high.
Yes, bang for look.
With what you get, right? With what you get, and this video will actually not be an entirely positive video because we've actually ran into some issues with the Sabre and we have some opinions on it. This thing total, the upper I paid $750 for, and the lower was $300, so you're all in about $1,500, $1,100 once you get the transfer. You know, all that BS you have to do. This one is a pretty, I guess. This one would be more of their upper end line. So Sabre varies greatly. They could go from like 800 to like 1200. The only thing you could upgrade on this one would be their Geisley rail system because the Sabre lines do offer a Geisley rail system. I opted for just a Sabre rail.
Cheapskate.
Well, I wanted to make sure that the rail was good. I knew the Geisley rail was good.
Okay, valid. Okay.
Yeah. So right now we have an EOTech Voodoo on it. I initially ran it with just a normal standard EOTech when we first got it, and we actually ran into some problems with it. So the Hyperfire trigger was getting caught, and Sparky saw the video, and we might pop the video up on how it was performing. But essentially, the trigger would... What would you say?
The sear kept catching.
Yeah, the sear kept catching. So you could shoot once or twice, but then on that third one or the fourth one, it just wouldn't go. It would act like the safety was on, and which is not good. You want to make sure your firearm shoots.
It'll at least go off when you want it to.
Yeah. So we reached out to PSA, and like I said, PSA didn't send us this gun. So this was my own concoction. I put it together, paid for it. They didn't even know I was getting it. I reached out to PSA, and customer service handled it greatly. They sent me out. Yeah. Same day. It was same day. They sent out a new Hyperfire trigger. I just dropped that in, and this one seems to be working fine. So I think there was just a burr on the trigger. Still not good that it got out that way because it was...
That's $150-some trigger, right?
Yeah, it's $150-some trigger. But the thing is, once the lower was off, and I don't know what kind of testing they do before they send out guns. I know like if they're completely built, they do shoot them. You know, that's for
if you're just buying a lower, just buying an upper.
Yeah, I don't know how that works because it was pretty easily like recreatable. I was able to do it, you know, just whenever.
Yeah, with your thumb.
Yeah, with my thumb, I was able to do it. And it happened pretty consistently. So when we were actually shooting this for the first time, we ended up having to put like a $100 PSA lower on it.
To test it out.
To test it out. And the $100 PSA lower was working better than the $300 PSA lower. You hate to see it, but sometimes it is what it is. But other than that, so once we got that taken care of and the Hyperfire put back in, I haven't had any issues with it so far. At the moment, we are running it with the Voodoo, and then we have a ProTac, which I like them a lot. And then we have a Somo Gear, little knockoff Peg 15, and we are testing that as well. And we've been running it suppressed. So in terms of being able to perform after the trigger's been in, perfectly fine. Works as it should, which, you know, is what you were looking for when you're buying this rifle. So let's talk about price point versus what you get versus what you can buy elsewhere, because that's kind of PSA's whole thing.
Why spend $1,100?
Yeah, why spend $1,100 on the PSA?
Under $500.
Exactly. So with what you were getting out of this specific rifle, I think it is a very good deal for the $1,100. Yes. Raptor Radiant stuff is typically very expensive when you're buying it on firearms, especially straight from the dealer.
Yeah, these Radiant Talon selector switches, I got them all mine, and they're like $60 to $70.
Yeah, and then you got a $70 charging handle. And then the real big seller here with this one in particular is definitely the FN barrel, the 14.5.556 cold hammer forged FN barrel. The FN barrels are fantastic. They're reliable, and you know they hold up over time, and they shoot really good groups. So that is the major selling point. And for $1,100 or, you know, sub $1,100, you really can't pick that up anywhere else.
No.
I mean, comparing it to stuff, and I hate to do, like Stag, for example, you pay $1,000 for their base rifle. You're not coming with a, you know, an upgraded Radian charging handle. They might come with the Breach charging handle, which is Air Precision's knockoff of the Radian, but you're not getting a cold hammer forged barrel. You're not getting a $150 Hyperfire trigger, and we didn't even mention that. You're not getting the upgraded ambidextrous safety selectors, which are really
and you don't have
nice.
to do those yourself.
Yeah, and
It's already on there. Like, you could buy just a plain Jane PSA and change it all yourself, or whatever Stag, but then you're spending more money, and you still have to do the work yourself.
I really think if you can get over the fact it's PSA, that $1,100 goes a long way when it comes to this.
Which I think now, compared to a few years back, you say you got PSA, people are like, oh, okay, he's got a cheap AR. But now they're like, you know, I got PSA Sabre. Oh, okay, well, that name recognition. They still have the name recognition of, they put out mass quantities of affordable ARs.
Because they do.
Because they do. But now they're stepping up into
a higher mark,
the better quality, which your quality's always been decent. But something like this is a step above. So PSA's, you know, they're rebranding themselves into putting out higher quality.
I mean, they're really pushing the market in terms of, I don't know how much you keep up with it, but they're starting to push out a ton of clones in their Sabre line. They've got the M4 clone, they got the Mark 12 clone, which came with like I don't know if you've seen it, but like the original Mark 12 rail. They came out with that AR-10, the M111 or M110, you know, the big tan one.
Yeah.
They're actually working with TRX Arms with that one, and it was like, TRX Arms are working with PSA.
They're doing the right thing.
They're pushing, and they realize where they make mistakes. And I mean, their motto is literally to get them out, get them, and put them in common use. Of course, they are common at this point.
Oh yes.
But PSA, I think, is doing a great job there. I really think this is a fantastic value. There are some things we did talk about that you know, maybe they could work on. It's really a no-brainer. You know, I think. And I don't know why they didn't. So they add all this awesome stuff. They add the Radian. They add, you know, the awesome barrel. They add the, you know, the great trigger. The firearm comes pin and welded with a mount for a suppressor.
So you're going to be using a suppressor, obviously.
You are going to be using a suppressor.
But no adjustable gas block.
But no adjustable gas block, which is odd because, you know, now I can't change the gas block on it because it's pin and welded. It's on there. Unless I take it somewhere
and have someone else do it.
And have someone else work on it and get it, you know, taken off and then having them put the adjustable gas block on it.
That's my biggest gripe with this gun.
That's a lot of work.
Is that the no adjustable gas block, which is not something you're gonna need to do. You know, you shouldn't have messed it a whole lot.
Yeah.
You know, once you figure it, whether or not you're shooting it suppressed or not.
Once you get it figured out.
Once you get it figured out, you're leaving it. But I just think, you know, it's already $1,100, and this is their higher end one, but it's not adjustable gas block, and it's not like something
you can't change it.
You can't change it, like, you know,
you can't easily change it. You can easily buy a Raptor charging handle and drop it.
Exactly, like all this stuff, like the trigger, the charge handle, even the rail, like all that kind of stuff's window dressing. But then like something like that, kind of the bones.
Well, actually,
rail maybe not, but the point is, like the stock, everything else, you can change all that easily, but
you can't
change it unless you put a ton of work into it. So what's another $100 to just go ahead and give me the adjustable gas block to where if I had to adjust it, I can do it easily.
Yeah, one of the first things Sparky said when he was shooting this thing, it was like, wow, it's getting all up in my face.
I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, so I mean, it is an issue. I wouldn't say it's like
an issue. It's just weird.
And you know, you can buy things to remedy that.
Yeah.
You can buy like ported charging handles to where they disperse the gas in different directions and evenly, and not up in your face, you know. So there's different remedies to it.
Kind of comes to the territory shooting a suppressor.
Yeah, it does.
But
so I mean, for example, when we shoot the Stag, it's worse than this. And it, like Sparky said, it does come with the territory. Once you suppress a gun, it completely changes it, like completely.
Yeah.
So that would be the biggest thing I would say maybe PSA should look into. Now, I'm sure that on their like their clones, I think they are coming with adjustable gas blocks like the Mark 12 clone, and then their AR-10 clone, whatever, the M110. I think they both do have adjustable gas systems on it.
I would imagine so.
But the typical normal Sabre line does not.
And I feel like adjustable gas block is pretty common on.
Yeah, and you know what it might be? It might be like a reliability issue. I don't know how great adjustable gas blocks have performed in the past, like running under very strenuous
situations. Or high round count.
Or a high round count. I know a lot of people run them on just like, you know, like their precision guns and stuff that, you know, you're not working a lot.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a reason, because you would think someone from them had, hey, what gas block are you putting on this thing? Oh, hey, we're just gonna slap this one on there. Yeah. I figure there's a lot more weight into it than that. So there might be a good reason for not having it. It might be that. It might be for reliability. They're saying, you know what, hey, this is what it's gonna be. The gun,
it'll work.
It's gonna work no matter what suppressor you put on it, or don't put suppressor on it. So they might just say, you know what?
Then maybe they're like, you know what? Maybe we just overgas the crap out of it, so if it gets dirty, it just keeps working.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
which is fail safe.
Yeah, exactly. Once it'll push through. Overall, I think it is a great investment. I think it's probably, if you were looking to spend about $1,000 on a gun, I think this type of setup would probably be what I would recommend.
Especially if you're interested in the nicer controls.
Yeah,
and stuff like
I don't know a single gun for $1,000 that you could get like this.
No, I know a bunch of $500, $600, and $700 guns that you have to dump more money into to change everything.
Yeah, but if you don't want to dump, this is
exactly. Oh yeah, this is all ready to go.
Yeah,
out of the box, ready to go.
I would definitely say that I'm a fan of the PSA. We're probably going to continue to use this over time, and you know, test stuff on it. Like I said, we have the EOTech Voodoo on it right now. So make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons. Stay tuned for that. And then, you know, just put it through its paces like we have like all of our other rifles we get out on the channel, especially like stuff like the Stag that we tend to like a lot and we use a lot. If we deem it becomes very, very, you know, reliable and a mainstay, then you'll see it more and more often. We have shot probably, I know I didn't give a round count, about 400 rounds, 500 rounds to it. And
so far, so good?
So far, so good. Now, granted, some of that was on not this lower, so take that for what you will. But the upper receiver seems to be working just good, just fine.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Check out the Ghost on the website, basementoperator.com, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Also, a big thank you to Velocity. Peace.